hooking up words and phrases and clauses.
All right, a little schoolhouse rock. We didn't have Larry to promo us before the show, so we're in the MCC hour. Of course, it's the Bighorn Blast podcast, also known as Speak Out. Or is that the other way around?
Bighorn Blast podcast, powered by KNTR. Speak out.
Thank you. That's, of course, James Jarman. He is the Executive Director of College Communications. James brought in a special guest today. And this is I saw this, I've seen it, I should say, in press releases and that. In downtown Kingman, a really good fit, in my opinion. And we have Jeanette Pigeon here. She is MCC Small Business Development Center Director. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Nice
Absolutely.
to be here.
You didn't think I could get all that out without stuttering, huh?
I know, right? Well done.
Not a problem. I like Jeanette already, and I had to bring Marissa June in here to check out her T-shirt that says Vans, off the wall. That's like my whole high school, like from 10th grade on, that's all I wore. I'm surprised I don't have, fallen arches or whatever from like skateboard shoes through high school. But, yeah, and then James has got Vans sandals on. So this show brought to you in part by Vans.
There you go.
That's it. The college, we're on the 4-day work week, so we're technically supposed to be off today. But, can you really call it work when you love coming in and chatting with Paul,
That's
really?
right.
Wow.
That's right.
Should we just end it right here on a high note?
I was trying to get you a good promo right there. A good promo soundbite.
I got to get a plug in because she's probably listening to Lori Jeanette.
Yes.
Right? Lori's at the office in Kingman.
Yes.
And Lori and I used to work together at, I'll say it, they're a sponsor of all of our stations at the Avi or the AV. And, I got to get a plug in for that. You got a good quality, very organized person there, let me tell you.
She is.
Yeah?
Definitely.
So tell us about the Small Business Development Center and what you do, and the partnerships you have, all those things. I mean, you don't have to unpack all of it. Just tell me how you got involved with that.
Sure. Well, the pandemic hit in 2020, and I lived just across the river in Laughlin, Nevada, and I thought, wow, they are hiring for this program that I've never heard of at Mohave Community College in Bullhead, and so I checked it out, and I've worked in corporate businesses for many, many years.
In what capacity? Recruiting?
Business analysis, project management, that sort of stuff, but working with a lot of IT and system interfacing. So a lot of financial management, learning, what the business needs in order to do their budgeting and things like that. So very financially oriented. And so long story short, onboarded, and ever since the pandemic, been helping small businesses start and grow in Mohave County. So very exciting.
Nice. What is your education then?
I have a master's in political science.
Wow.
I know.
I like how you did it. One of my questions is, why is politician a bad word these days? Why doesn't anyone want to be a politician when they've all been in office for 10 years or more, right?
I was going to be the puppet master. I was going to be the campaign manager.
Yeah, right. Yeah, people always ask, you should run for office. I'm like, no, I'll help you get elected, but I don't want to be that guy.
Right?
Yeah.
It takes a special someone to be a politician.
It does. It does. So how has that helped you in your current position?
Well, political science is a very interdisciplinary study.
Very.
So economics, international relations, business. And so it really helped me view systems and think logically, critically. And, working with small businesses, you really have to do that kind of analytical thinking in terms of what do they need, and really help to prioritize that and deliver for them. And that's really what we do.
So if I'm a small business owner, how can the SBDC help me?
Lots of different ways, James. So we can help you write or refine your business plan. We can help you get access to capital. So if you need funding to expand and grow your business, we can do that. We have lots of lenders in our network, and so there's lots of funding sources out there that a lot of people are not aware of. They think of their local bank only, but we network with a lot of banks and other lenders throughout Mohave County just to, put the right package together for the small business owner.
What is a typical funding package for that? I mean, who is the typical business owner that comes in and says, hey, I need some help with some startup?
So not yet a business owner. We do a lot of work with those type of clients. So these are people that have never been in business.
Really?
And, you know, the entrepreneurial spirit is really pretty strong in Mohave County, I have to say, even during the pandemic, even now with inflation, things like that. But, you know, people have a dream and they want to see if it's something that they can do as either a side gig for some extra income, or is their, you know, main gig. And so we help them understand that. And really one of the first things we do is we work with our clients to do a self-assessment just to see if it's, you know, being a business owner is the right fit, because it's very different than being an employee. And then we do the financial analysis, and that's really where we see what the financial feasibility is.
Are you helping to create business plans too? Because a lot of people have never done anything like that, like when they're going to seek capital.
Exactly, and they get sweaty palms. They're not really sure.
Right.
What is involved with that?
If you're not good with a resume, you know, you might want to seek some help with that business plan too.
Yeah. And we have a great tool that's sponsored by the network that we belong to, Arizona SBDC Network. So we're as we mentioned earlier, we're one of the 10 community colleges, or one of the 10 SBDCs that support all the counties in Arizona. And we use Live Plan. It's great. We give clients a seat on our 10-seat license, and it's a great tool because they have some AI enhancements that will actually help you write it.
Right.
But that's where we put in the basically the financials. So the profit and loss statement. We do what's called the financial projections, balance sheet, cash flow, and but before we get to that, we actually work it out on a spreadsheet just to make sure that it's even viable for, and what the financial requirements are for the startup in terms of startup money, working capital.
This is so fascinating to me, James. I mean, what part, Jeanette, of what parts of Mohave County are you mostly working with? Like all parts where there's an MCC campus, or is this, are people in our listening area in Nevada, California eligible? Who's eligible for this program?
With our center, it's Mohave County-based businesses.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily where you live, but where the business operations are. However, I should say, not only are we part of a statewide network, but we're part of a national network. And so wherever you reside, in California, Nevada, wherever, you have an SBDC near you.
Turning the passion into profits. That's what it is. So, Paul, when you're ready to launch your own business,
I've been there, done that.
Yeah, you head over. Well, it can help you put your small business plan together, help you get funding, and get it going.
You know, Jeanette, and it's funny he said that, because I'm of the opinion that there are people that employ people, and there are people that work for those employers. Am I right?
Yes. Exactly.
Not everyone is cut out to own their own business, correct?
That's true.
And I think, what do you think are some of the hurdles? Because it seems to me when I think about it, because I've thought about, maybe do you own your own business, but then you start thinking about, well, you got HR issues, you got health plans, all of that. It seems like it's such a large undertaking to start your own business. What is it that you find it really kind of holds people back when they come in? What's been holding them back that you can help break through and get them lined up?
Wow. Are you looking for a co-host gig or what?
Yeah. I'm fascinated by it.
That's a really good question. That's a really good question.
That's an excellent question.
Go ahead, Jeanette.
It really depends on what the type of business is, right? So you can be a single consultant providing services from your home, working remotely with your clients and things like that. Those are relatively easy to get started, and usually somebody has a professional license or certification that they want to leverage. And then you've got people who want to start maybe a trucking company, lots of kind of last mile hotshot trucking operators. We've got folks who have been handymen or handy people, whatever the correct term is, and want to become a licensed contractor in Arizona. And so we even help them with that. So we go really beyond the business plan development and getting funding, but really let's help get you licensed as a contractor in Arizona.
Works well at the college too, because we have
Yes.
all of the program, the electrical program, all of the CTE programs, all of the
Yes.
health professions programs. They can go through that, even the computer science programs,
Yep.
and then start your own business. Walk over to the SBDC or call her up and set up a meeting and head over there and say, hey, now I know how to do HVAC. How do I start my own company?
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
So I think that's really just a perfect fit there with the college to help get launching people into businesses once
Right.
they get the training and they feel like, hey, now I've got welding down.
Right.
Now how do I get some employees so we can start our own business? Or now that I've got HVAC, or now that I've got my electrical certification, how can I leverage that and
Right.
start my own business?
When did SBDC, when did that start for MCC? When did that office, when did it all kick up?
Gosh, I don't know
Kick
the
off.
exact year, but it's been at MCC for a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
I was there when I got there. So
I'm just thinking when the office opened in downtown Kingman then during the revitalization and all that.
That was a couple of years ago.
Are
yeah.
some of those businesses there businesses that you helped get started?
In downtown, yes, absolutely. And quite a few in Lake Havasu and Bullhead City. Really, Dolan Springs, even
Really?
outside of the incorporated areas. So.
Can you think of some of your best success stories right offhand, like one or two that really stand out in your mind, that person that came to you that didn't, was kind of, I have a really great idea, I have the next $1 million idea, but I can't figure out how to put it on paper.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've had some MCC students approach us. One, most notably Aaron Espinoza of AC Metalworks. He just launched his business last year, and in fact, he was one of the winners of Have a Startup.
I was going to ask you about that.
Business plan pitch competition.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And the Peach Springs, we have the college is partnered with the Wallapai tribe. So
Yes.
we have the small business. Well, we have the
Business
Thrive
Incubator.
Wallapai Business
Yeah.
Center out there
Right.
in Peach Springs, and Jeanette's been out there several times. And you have big crowds that come out there to
Yep.
to listen and learn about how to start up their own businesses, to kind of capture the
Sure.
tourists that are doing the 66 and the Grand Canyon route there.
Yeah.
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 So once you make contact with SBDC, how does that work? Do you keep touch with them? Do you take them through baby steps? How does all that work?
We have a 10-step checklist that we like to follow, but we really tell our clients that it's really up to them. It's their business. They make the decisions. We're not making the decisions for them, but we're giving them pros and cons and guidance. It can be a little bit of a maze, wondering, what you do first. And a lot of people, in fact, a lot of our referrals come from the business license desks. So we have, our little rack card stands in Lake Havasu City, Bullhead, Kingman, and the business license people are very quick to tell people, are you starting a business? Have you registered your business? No, you need to go see Jeanette at the SBDC.
Really?
Yeah.
And I
So
was
that's
going to
really
say,
great.
is this something that markets itself, or do you have a marketing plan in place?
We both. Lots of word of mouth, though. Absolutely. And the folks that come in from the business license desk, folks tend to think that the business license is where you start, and it's really the last kind of license that you need right before you start business.
Where do you start on the checklist?
Self-assessment. Yep.
What
Is
does
this
that mean?
right for you? Do you have the support of your family? Do you have any collateral? Do you have any cash on hand? Some of the barriers or some of the misconceptions, I guess I should say, with starting a business is, people don't understand that they need to have an investment themselves. And so it'll take some of their money. Some maybe.
You're talking about a financial investment,
Financial
not a time investment, because you're going to have both, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And so one of the first things that they ask me is really step 2 is the financials, and really the preliminary business plan development. So what's the market look like? Who's your target customer? How are you going to position yourselves? What makes you better than your competition? Who are your competition? What do they do?
Right.
And what's your unique positioning statement? How do you stand out in the crowd if it's not a completely unique opportunity that you're taking advantage of?
That's fascinating. I found that later on down on the list when you get your DBA, for example. Think of that name carefully because you might be conflicting with someone in Maricopa County.
That's right.
Right? And you have to think about that, too.
That's right. So we'll help look for names that are appropriate. And in addition to your brand name or your DBA, your business name, either
doing business as.
Right. LLC or doing business as. You want to make sure that the domain name is available.
Oh, right.
So there's a consistent naming convention in the marketplace.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while. I didn't even think of domain name. So, yeah, that's how long it's been since I owned my own small business. So, yeah, absolutely. It was video production.
Was it? Yeah.
I love it.
What happened? Is it just you decided, well, let me...
It was one of those things where the formats changed, went from, tape to DVD, and I just wasn't ready for the change. So, that's one of those things you probably help with, too.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
The evolution of your business.
That's right.
Depending on what you're in.
Talk about technology, from the 80s to now. I mean, how many changes has there been? How many upgrades just in video has there been?
We were talking about editing on tape when you were back taking a radio class, right, Jeanette?
That's right.
Film, when
Way
you had to
back
cut
in the day.
film, and then, oh, man.
Oh, you still say film?
Back then, back when it was film, when you had to go in and cut it and then tape it together.
I'm not even that old when it was film. I remember reel to reel, but I didn't work in TV when it was film. We always said the film's in your mouth. So, right? We always worked with tape. Grab me a tape. We don't put it on film.
So. Well, and you still hear people say that now. Say that, hey,
sure.
Hey, did you cut that tape? And
it's like,
what?
Right.
And you have younger people that haven't never worked with videotape. Or, tape. What tape are you talking about?
Scotch tape?
Yeah, I've got the video card right here.
That's funny. All right, little Tears for Fears going out because I know what JJ likes, right?
Little 80s,
little 80s
good.
stuff going on.
Flashback.
Plus, this was Dennis Miller's theme song when Dennis Miller had his own radio show.
Yeah.
He used to be on before Speak Out, but way back in the day. I call them the aughts, right? 2006, 2007, before we said 20.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Back with more in a moment. I'm Paul Lavoie along with James Jarman, Executive Director of College Communications, and pretty dang good co-host right now.
And now that we've aged ourselves, everybody knows these old fogies on the radio here.
And Jeanette Pigeon is here. She is the Mohave Community College Small Business Development Center Director. Boom. I didn't even read that off a card. That was from my own notes. Pretty interesting documentary out there. I don't know if you're into docs or not, James, but it's about Genesis and the band Genesis, of course, not the car. Mm-hmm. And Peter Gabriel was the original lead singer of Genesis.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Phil was the drummer, and he sang a little bit, but they didn't really overlap all that. But it's really, really interesting. They called it art rock back in the day.
Oh, I just figured it was Phil Collins.
They just started, well, that was later Genesis, but there's a song called Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. That's Peter Gabriel Genesis. So.
Oh, now you're really aging yourself.
I'm being a musicologist, man. But I have a lot of respect for Peter Gabriel. He's a lot more than just Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Speak Out brought to you in part by Mohave Mortgage. Love those guys. Also, Bradley Chevrolet and Bradley Ford by Just Meats. All the cuts, all the time. A locally owned and operated butcher shop in Lake Havasu City by Patio Paradise. By Salmon's Air Conditioning, serving the tri-state area for over 53 years. That's a long time right there. 1 year older than the London Bridge, in fact. And by Blonsey's Steakhouse, 4501 London Bridge Road in Desert Hill. Steaks are just the beginning. Definitely one of the finest breakfasts in Havasu. And I had a cod sandwich over there the other day. Whoa. Yeah, it was big. It was a big bite.
All right.
No bread, though. No bread for
53 years. The college has been here since 1971, so 52 years for us. So
and I've heard you say it, so I can go there. But when I moved here, the nickname, because of the modulars, was Trailer Tech in Bowling.
That used to be called that. Yeah,
Think of their growth, though.
Yes.
Under both Dr. Klippenstein and who was before Dr. K?
Oh, Dr. Kearns.
Dr. Kearns.
Michael
Kearns.
Yep,
right.
Yep.
I believe he was a dentist at one one time too.
Yeah, he was brought out to help start the dental school.
Right.
Yeah. So
Nice.
the dental school on the Bullhead campus. And then he moved to Phoenix, and Dr. Klippenstein came in, and that's when you really started seeing a lot of the movement out in the community, and a lot of we have the Advanced Manufacturing Training Center.
Right.
That's going in at the Kingman Industrial Park, groundbreaking just a week ago, and then we have the student housing now with athletics coming in as well at the Bullhead campus. So
you're hitting talking points now, by the way.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, that's the only way I think. Yeah, I hit bullet points in my head. Yeah.
Tell me about the AMTC.
Oh, yeah.
And what it stands for again?
Yeah, the Advanced Manufacturing Training Center. So that's going to be, so when you think of a lot of the workforce training programs we have, like we talked about a little bit earlier with career and technical education, you've got welding, electrical, HVAC, we'll have production management, all that. It's going to be out there at the Airport Industrial Park where a lot of the employers are that are manufacturing employers. So there's going to be manufacturing taught there as well. The public will be able to go out there and use that facility as well. So it's really going to be a central hub of a workforce training center. So if you have a small business even, and you think, I want to expand, but I need these employees trained in HVAC, well, you can go ahead and you can tell the college exactly what you need them trained in and send them out there. The college will set up the curriculum for them. They go out to the Advanced Manufacturing Training Center, meet with the instructors out there, and they go through a quick program and get them trained to specifically what your company needs. And then they come right back out. And they also, if it's welding, they have a welding mobile lab, so they can take the welding truck mobile lab to your business if you want to train people in welding. And a lot of companies that are manufacturing need welders on staff too, because a lot of their equipment needs repairs. So there's always a need for welders out there as well. So they do that. I mean, really, it's really starting to expand, and we're seeing a lot more emphasis and priority put on the workforce training side of it, the trades, people will call it. And we're seeing a lot of the younger generation now looking at it and looking at the ROI, so the return on their investment for a college degree. How much do I want to spend, and what's my guarantee? What kind of job am I going to get afterwards? And when you look at the trades and the healthcare, you're talking, 1 to 2 years of training in some cases, and you're walking into jobs paying, $50,000 starting or more. So that's really a great return on your investment. And at the college, at Mohave Community College, the latest research shows that for every dollar a student invests at MCC into their education and their workforce training, they get $6.20 back in higher career earnings over their lifetime. So that's a huge investment. That's a huge return on investment just for going there and getting your training, getting your education. Yeah.
Do you go over that as well, Jeanette, the return on investment for people when you're talking about, and how does that work where you are at the Small Business Development Center?
Well, it's going to translate into your profit and reinvesting in the business. And so what we want to do is we break down in that financial analysis, that first spreadsheet that we work on for the financial feasibility determination. We really look at what the expenses are, and we have to classify expenses as either contributing to our sales and revenue growth or not, just keeping the lights on and things like that. So we really kind of put those in two different buckets. And so that profit that you have, of course, you're in business to make a profit, but then you have to contribute back into the business and pay that first bucket that helps you drive your sales.
Is that what I was supposed to do? Okay.
Perfect. Reinvest in yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you seeing, how long have you been doing this? Over 10 years?
I've been doing this with MCC for almost 5 years now.
5 years. Are you seeing different, trends into different types of businesses now? People working more from home, working hybrid, for example, or is it always a storefront that they want to open?
A lot of mobile food trucks. That really started growing about just after the pandemic. Really,
in all of our communities?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. I think there was a pretty strong food truck in Lake Havasu already community, but Kingman and Bullhead City really have grown in the last couple of years. So that is a huge trend. Not too many people working from home that we deal with, although
really?
I do have, like I just worked with a client who is LVN, who doesn't work from home necessarily, but contracts with skilled nursing facilities. And so it's a business-to-business situation. So that's a really kind of important distinction to make, too, is, determining who your target audience is. What kind of situation or what kind of business relationship are you going to have? Are you going to be doing business with other businesses and they bring you the clients? Or is it a business-to-consumer, B2C kind of situation where you're marketing yourself and marketing to
I've heard
general
B2B,
population?
but I've never heard B2C.
Yep.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, we're going to take another short break, and here's one of those songs that was played very heavily during the Y2K transition. You remember that?
Oh,
where were you when Y2K happened?
Yeah.
I remember where I was,
Yeah.
and it was around a lot of stuff that was flipping.
Waiting for the countdown to zero, and
Yeah.
nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
That was funny. Right. We were ready for it, though, where I was. So, all right, we're back on Speak Out. A little Fleetwood Mac. Actually, that's a good guilty pleasure song right there, James, right?
Yeah, I like Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, that's more Christine McVie.
Yeah, that one right
but
there.
I do. I really love that song, and I'm going to explore her solo stuff before Fleetwood Mac. I hear it's some pretty solid. She had some pretty solid tunes before she joined, with Mick Fleetwood and Stevie and Lindsay.
Yeah.
Right. Have you seen Daisy Jones and the Six? Are you into like series, streaming?
Yeah.
It's on Amazon.
Okay.
It's called Daisy Jones and the Six. It's loosely based on Fleetwood Mac. Or I
Really?
think it is. It appears to be when you're watching it.
Allegedly.
Yeah, right. All right, Speak Out. Brought to you in part by Springburg Wealth Management, also by The Chair, Havasu-style dining and live entertainment in a flip-flop atmosphere. Fantastic view of the London Bridge. Stroll on over to The Chair. Also by Mohave Community College, by samsguns.com, SunPower by Esme Electric, by Doritos Place, providing Havasu with all natural dog and cat food along with pet toys since 2006, and by ZMI Mobility with off-road mobility scooters, ramps, lifts for pools and vehicles, car access, swivel seats, and stair lifts over on 911 Lake Havasu Avenue North by City Maytag. So, a very needed business here in this community. Don't forget, buy local or buy local, and that includes education too, right?
Yeah, that's it.
What is that? I hear so many good stories now out of both ASU at Lake Havasu and MCC, and you've got
Just great partnership there.
You've got fall coming up.
Yeah.
Is registration still open, that window?
Yeah, we have, so summer semester started at the end of May, so we have students there for summer semester, and I think we're up 50% in enrollment.
Whoa.
So doing really well. And fall starts August 19th. Those are the first classes. If you don't get in by August 19th, we also have shorter term classes that'll pick up. The selection isn't as broad, but you'll have your English 101s, that kind of thing. We'll have a small 12-week and 8-week classes that'll start up later. But the key thing is to get registered now. Get your application in. If you go to mohave.edu, click the Apply Now button, it'll take you to a page where you can set up a student account. It's called Become a Bighorn. You'll see the Become a Bighorn page.
Right.
You just fill that out. Once you have that filled out, you can start on your application. You can stop the application at any time. Somebody will be in touch with you from the college to help out. They're called enrollment navigators. So you would be contacted by them, and they'll help walk you through the whole process, make sure you know exactly what you're going to need, how you need to fill it out, what classes you want, and then help walk you right through from application to enrollment.
Right.
Yep.
I got to ask you, Jeanette, are you a revenue generator, or where does the Small Business Development Center get its funding from?
It's a good question.
Do you generate your own revenue?
We are grant
funded.
recipient. Yep.
Okay.
So grant funded, and then cash match and in kind with Mohave Community College. So without Mohave Community College, I don't know how we would actually deliver our services. So it's really key. But it is interesting when people come to me and they want grants, and I explain to them, if you're a nonprofit, it's a good fit, but it's difficult to find grants for profit. Not impossible, especially with kind of the energy / solar energy production grants out there that the federal government has. You know, if you have an existing business and you want to expand and do green energy and implement some solar and some panels, then there's grants for things like that.
Okay.
But not necessarily to start a business.
So, James, I'm going to change topics a little bit. A lot of people are anxious for the soccer season to start, and I want to talk about that, but I want to go into the Bighorn Blast newscast first. I almost said podcast. We're actually generating the podcast. So, give me a quick rundown of the newscast, and then we'll just blast into it.
Yeah, so the newscast, Bighorn Blast newscast, we put together, our team goes out, covers all the campuses throughout the month, and then we put everything together in a little newscast that we present to the board, and then we send it out to our partners in the community, and they'll play it on the cable channels, the government cable channels. We have it on the website as well. If you go to mohave.edu/newsroom, you'll see the button for the podcast and the newscast, and we have them all hosted on our YouTube channel.
Perfect. All right, let's hear what this one's all about. This is the June 2024 version of the Bighorn Blast newscast.
First up, MCC President Dr. Stacy Klippenstein moderated the Northern Arizona Mayoral Roundtable held at MCC. It included mayors from throughout northwestern Arizona and was an educational and insightful event for attendees as mayors shared highlights and challenges running their respective cities. The event was organized by the Arizona Association for Economic Development. Congratulations to the Bighorn Leadership Academy graduates. 19 employees finished this year's academy, which helps them develop their leadership skills to become better leaders in higher education. The burnout competition was fierce as the Bighorn Veterans Service Organization held another successful car show. It featured various classic and modern cars. This is the organization's second annual Salute Our Troops car show held at the Neal campus, Kingman. The Student Art Club held another terrific art show. This one at the Beale Street Center in downtown Kingman saw good crowds coming through the doors to check out and purchase the artwork made by students. The Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society held a talent show for everyone in the community to showcase their talents, and there was a diverse set of skills on display. The show was more than just an opportunity for individuals to display their skills. It also served a noble cause. Attendees were encouraged to bring pet food and supplies, which were donated to Mutt Matcher's No-Kill Animal Shelter. One of MCC's university partners, Arizona State University, stopped by to meet the students who will be looking to transfer to a university to complete a bachelor's degree. It was a great opportunity for students to learn more about the MCC to ASU pathway options available to them and what they can expect as students at ASU. Research shows community college students have higher graduation rates at universities than other students. MCC's Physical Therapist Assistant Student Club held a highly successful volleyball fundraiser. The event aimed to raise money to support various club activities, including pinning ceremonies, field trips, and student conferences. This one was held on the beach at Rotary Park in Havasu. For more information on the Physical Therapist Assistant Program, head to mohave.edu and then click Health and Public Services in the middle of the homepage. Then scroll down and click Physical Therapist Assistant. The MCC Thrive Wallapai Business Center held its inaugural Tall Pines Pitch Competition in Peach Springs. They awarded $9,500 to local entrepreneurs based on their business pitches, and Dr. Klippenstein was honored to be an event judge. Congratulations to first place winner Camille Nighthorse, who received $5,000 for her pitch, the Nighthorse Ranch Retreat. It would be a small ranch complete with horseback riding, a sweat lodge, and an art studio designed to cater to those with a desire to get back to nature and find balance in their stressful lives.
Wow, that looks like right up your alley, Jeanette.
It is.
That is
yeah.
all business. Yeah, pitching it. She won. Congratulations to her. And
yeah.
You probably worked with them, right?
Yes,
with a lot
absolutely.
Of them.
Yeah. I was one of the judges too.
Yeah. Jeanette and Dr. Klippenstein were judges for that competition, and yeah, her idea. What was it that you think put her over the top?
She had a really well-written business plan. She had a way to monetize the startup. So that startup funding is really critical, and so I think we all felt that her business plan pitch was going to be the most successful and probably the longest term business out there.
Was that part of the judging criteria then?
Not necessarily, but we want to make sure that whoever wins, and there were 3 winners. It was the first, second, third winner, and so they all had great pitches, and so it was really difficult to really award one over the other, but really Camille really shone in terms of everything, all the different rating criteria.
What type of business was that again?
It's a ranch that's really going to be like a retreat. Yeah. So if you want to have like a girls' weekend and get some massages and stay at a place that's out there, just in beautiful Peach Springs area.
What a concept!
Yeah.
No,
Ride
I mean when I drive through
that.
Peach Springs, I don't really think of that, but now I see where that would be a good fit.
Well, and she was thinking, and I think this is true, that there's a lot of people that go out to have a Supai Falls and go out and they're out there and they're all grimy after like a week camping out in the dirt, and they want to come back and kind of rejuvenate. It's also really proximate location to Las Vegas, so of course Route 66.
A lot of Vegas visitors in that area. Yep. That's absolutely true. Wow, what a concept. Have you followed up with that business? How is she doing?
She is in the early stages. I don't know exactly where she's at, but I know that Manny and Longfeather out at the business incubator are working with her. So
that's fantastic that you can be what kind of feeling is that when you see 2, 3, 4 years down the road they're still in business and thriving?
Yeah, it's really exciting. And we get excited, whatever size business it is, really, because people, the entrepreneurs themselves are so excited, because this is their passion and a dream that they've had.
Yeah.
And so when they get to realize it, they're so grateful and so thankful, and that's really what makes our day.
Well, not only that, but the Peach Springs area, that's a great driver for that community.
Yes.
It's badly needed.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And really. that's the focus of when she was talking about Manny and Longfeather. They're the college employees who are tribe members up at the Wallapai Tribe, and they run the Thrive Wallapai Business Center, which is the business incubator. So folks from the tribe can go over there, meet with them, say, hey, I have an idea. I've got these great crafts. I want to start my own business. And they can walk in and they'll hook them up with Jeanette as well. Right. And that's really how the business incubators in the different cities work as well. And I think you'll see those starting to expand as well across the college, because really the demand locally for folks who want to start their own businesses is growing as we get more and more people moving into the area and more creative folks who have great craft idea, great crafts, have great passion, and they want to, hey, how do I sell this? And I think the one thing that's great with the SBDC is, as we were talking earlier, it's starting your own business. It's just there's so much of those unknowns. It's the unknown unknowns and the known unknowns, and you got to go through all of that. But Jeanette can help you walk you through all of that, so it kind of lifts the veil on some of the stuff that seems like, I'm a little nervous, I don't know what to do here. She can help walk you right through all of that. Have
there been any studies done or statistics on how successful is a business with or without you? Do they have a greater chance of succeeding with your advice?
Yes.
No, I mean, how much greater? Is it like an 8-to-1 or?
There have been studies with not necessarily the SBDC, but with business plan development. So businesses that start without a defined business plan will fail within the first 2 to 3 years.
Really? Okay.
The failure rate is pretty high. The ability to grow and develop your business, scaling your business from startup to maybe
evolve.
Evolve, is you're able to accelerate that process by about 50 to 60%.
Wow, very cool.
So you can't really, start out hiking and not really have a path, right? And starting a business is the same way. You can't just kind of throw things out there and expect to be successful in a couple of years.
Wow,
and even if you've already started your business, we're there to help you. If you feel like things are kind of getting a little wobbly or again, you need funding, we're there to help. We also do training as well. So, in fact, we've partnered with Lori Jeanette and Community Ed to deliver some profit soup training, financial literacy, so to speak, how to read your financials.
Profit Soup.
Profit Soup.
I like
it's
it.
a great program. We've acquired some training from Profit Soup, the company, and it's all web-based training. It's very interactive, and people basically can walk themselves through many areas, but most notably we've been delivering really the financial literacy area of break-even plus. So how do you know what your profit is if you don't plan for it, and what are the key performance indicators that you need to measure your productivity, your profitability, things like that.
So the SBDC, what it really seems to me is it's almost like that's if you want to start up a business, she's your partner to get it going.
Exactly.
But it's then once you get it going,
right,
that's yours. It's all you.
So speaking of evolving, because we're running out of time, we have maybe 2 minutes. I want to talk about the soccer program, where we're at schedule-wise, where people can find out where when they're playing both the Bighorn men and women, and so they could possibly see the next Christian Pulisic,
There you go.
Have you seen this guy play?
Yeah.
Great player for Team USA.
Yeah. Well, then the coaches, I think they've got almost full rosters now, 25 or more student athletes on each team, men's and women's. And if you go to, we've posted the schedule on our social media sites. Just go to any of the social media sites and search Mohave Community College, you'll find it. And then also on our website at mohave.edu/newsroom, or just go to mohave.edu, scroll to the bottom, and that's where the news and events section is, and you'll be able to see the soccer information there. We have a new athletic website that's going to be coming out this next month, so you'll see a lot of information and kind of flooding the market out there with the new website, because that'll be where we'll send everybody for all of your athletics-related information.
How much are they playing outdoors?
It's all outdoors.
All outdoors? They're not using the field house?
Yep. The first game is going to be the men's game, August 7th. They're going to play a scrimmage game against Rio Football Club, and that's going to be the first home game, too, and that's going to be at Rotary Park in Bullhead City at what's currently named Firebird Field. The boosters and the athletic director, Camilo, are going to be selling sponsorships eventually, so businesses will be able to have their signs up. They're going to have a naming sponsorship for Firebird Field, so keep an eye out for that as well.
So, James, I have to correct you. They're not called scrimmages. They're called friendlies.
Friendlies.
It's a friendly. It's a friendly.
Or exhibition, I should say.
Camilo knows. Camilo's smiling right now. Like, thank you for correcting him on that. They have a friendly against Rio
Football Club.
Football Club.
Football Club.
Rio FC.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. All right.
Oh, and then if you want to reach Jeanette, we didn't give her information out, but real easy. Go to the website again, mohave.edu. You can either do mohave.edu/SBDC or hit the About tab, and you'll see the Small Business Development Center.
Perfect.
And then click that.